Very good.
Okay.
Well, it's nice to speak to two
Much,
ladies.
David. Say too much. I can
So,
I can't believe.
so do you, so you obviously understand English well because you've watched lots of videos on my channel. So
Yes, yes.
it's just speaking in English, I guess.
See, yes, yes.
Great. Okay,
Yeah,
good. So,
it
But
is
she
that.
speaks a
well,
little
thanks for
bit.
the introduction. Okay, good. Well, we can just take it really slowly, so it's as easy as possible.
Ok.
Okay.
So,
Vuole raccontare un po' la mia storia.
She wants to tell you about her stories, so I translate what she wrote me in
yes,
Italian. So if you want, I can read it.
yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, so the infinite was convinced it wasn't the infinite, but this person called Liliana. I've never been a spiritual seeker. I never looked for God. In my case, it was God who found me. I didn't know anything about enlightenment, meditation, or awakening. I was born in Romania in 1968 into a simple, sometimes conflicted family. Growing up, I became empathic and outgoing. I love people, music, and animals, but inside, I often felt unworthy, flawed, not enough. With all this, I got on the carousel of suffering. I meet people, especially romantic relationships, who were very different from me. I put them on a pedestal. I shrank myself and I accepted the humiliation, betrayal, and guilt. I've always believed in God and I've always felt a presence behind me. That faith helped me face and overcome every challenge. In 2000, I moved to Italy with my family, where I still live today. In 2007, during a hospital stay, I experienced death. It was magical. I saw that death doesn't exist. The world had disappeared. I felt infinite, formless, overflowing with joy, euphoria, ecstasy, and bliss. Years later, in 2013, by chance while browsing the internet, I opened a website called You Are Light. I was deeply surprised by what I was reading. You are love, you are God. It was completely the opposite of what I had always believed. Those readings made my mind go silent. For 3 months, I experienced the same feelings I had felt during physical death. Later, after reading many books, I realized that what was happening was an awakening, something that many spiritual seekers hope for after years of practice. Life continued, but in a completely different world. There were so many synchronicities, lucid dreams, out of body experiences. I started understanding the words of Jesus. I felt like the prodigal son coming home. I often wondered why me? Why someone who hadn't done anything to deserve it was given this gift? At the same time, I felt immense gratitude. 2 years ago, I discovered you and watched all your videos. Your clear explanations, your kindness, and your understanding inspired me to write you. You helped me realize that it was really never really Liliana's life. It wasn't Liliana who was awakening, it was the infinite hiding from itself in itself for the joy of finding itself again. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. It's so nice. And yeah, amazingly advanced experiences that you have. And really, the thing to know is that because this world is an upside down world, it's an inverted world, quite often those who are most advanced spiritually find themselves in circumstances which can be quite difficult. But the reason you have these experiences isn't by chance. It's because you actually brought that ability into this life with you, because you come from a much higher frequency really than this three-dimensional world. So lots of the conditioning you've had, the religious conditioning and also the experiences you had, experiences in love, romantic love, that kind of thing, they're designed to distract us really our from knowing our true nature because they're invitations into experiences which are designed to make us feel very limited, when actually your true nature is infinite, as you realize, which is wonderful. And that's true of everyone.
Yes. Um, eh, Però ha distrutto tantissime persone, si sono...
Ci sono dileguati.
Sì, sì, sì.
She says that these things destroy a lot of people around her, so many people disappeared after that.
Mm, mm.
Uh,
Yes, well, that's what, yes. Sometimes when there's a change, because in a way, the most difficult experiences we have are the ones which open us to the greatest potential, as it was with you, having those experiences. Um, it sort of it ends one particular period and begins another one, and there can be an opening into new um, realms of realization, which is what's happened. And so, really, it's a matter of navigating the life experience in a way where you don't limit yourself. So, you've probably heard me say that um, most of the experiences we have in life, they're inviting us into a feeling of contraction rather than expansion. So it's the idea that we're not deserving. It's the idea that things don't work out for us, and there can be certain emotional themes, especially running within families. So it's quite good to identify some of those because it's those themes which are inviting us into limitation. When really, when we realize we can decline those themes, we can ignore them really because we know we don't want to go there. And the more we realize that, the more it's possible to function from your infinite nature. And what you've seen, you're really lucky because you've had very deep experiences of your infinite nature. And because of that, you know that that's what you are. And the human experience is a construct which is designed to obscure that in some ways. It's as you said in the introduction, it's really for the joy of waking up to realize your true infinite nature, and that's the reason we experience the limitations.
ma
But you do seem well. You both seem very settled and very blissful, which is really nice. You both have a really nice frequency,
thank you very
Thank
much.
so that's yeah, that's wonderful.
Non poteva andare diversamente.
She says that it didn't come diversely from that.
Right.
Uh,
So so yes, the main thing is to not doubt not doubt the potential you have because the limitations are designed to just keep you engaged in the human realm, and there are lots of invitations both individually and collectively at the moment because in the world there are lots of invitations into limitation, invitations into things like fear through the political situation and the various things going on in the world. But it's it's really important just to decline those and follow the highest feeling level because that's how to remain free of the matrix really of the energy system because
infatti,
it is like a game. Sorry.
io mi sento indistruttibile, piena di potere, di energia. È sbagliato?
Indeed, she felt like undestructive, um, full of power, and she has a lot of energy. She says, "Is that
Wonderful.
right?"
Fantastic. Yes. Well, exactly, because you've experienced your true infinite nature at source, which is um, it's prior to anything in the realm of limitation, and so you know that that's something you can cultivate as well, because everything in this world is designed to invite us into the personal realm. So it's the idea that you're a person living in time and space, and so lots of the invitations through things like the education system, through the media, they're all designed to put us into the personal mode. And most people you meet will be talking about their personal story and inviting you into the personal mode, and it takes a little while if because sometimes there's a feeling of being isolated, because if you have deep spiritual experiences, there aren't many people you can talk to about them. So you find that you feel quite alone in some ways. But it's important not to allow that to deter you, because the ability we all have really is to live from our infinite impersonal nature, because our infinite impersonal nature is ever present. So in this moment, we're all just resting as the infinite impersonal being. That's all we can be, really. It's just that the the human realm is something where it's a bit like having a part in a play where there's a character and we're playing the role of that character. But it is only like a character in a play. But the dualistic realm is designed to make us feel as though that's who we are and that's all we are. But it's the more we can see that the personal realm is optional, the more energy becomes available, because we can see that we can see that the energy is infinite, and we can also see that it takes a lot of energy to experience things which are opposite to our infinite nature. So to experience things like pain, for instance, or limitation, takes a huge amount of energy to maintain those experiences. And it is only ever our own energy which fuels those emotions. So if we experience things like, say, we experience anger or fear or depression and those sort of things, it's really a huge amount of energy, which is why we always feel very drained energetically when we have those experiences. But there isn't much of that for you two, I don't think. You two seem to just be very light and happy.
Yes, I'm very happy, um, eh, piena di energie.
Cioè, ti ha chiesto perché lo hai voluto incontrare visto che sembri così in pace con te stessa.
Perché non lo so, I don't know, è stata una cosa che non ho scelto, non lo so.
She says that she really don't know why if she feel that she had to meet you. So it's like something that she felt inside. He wanted to talk with you.
Wonderful. Well, it's really a simple recognition, because this world is designed to make it appear as though we're all separate and that there are barriers between us, and that there's no communication, or that we don't feel comfortable. But because of the experiences you've had, you have the ability to sense one's infinite nature, but it's also something you can sense in others. So you find that the nature of the relationships you have is much deeper, and because you're experiencing unity consciousness, really, rather than a dualistic mode. So that's something which is available to you, and the more you recognize that these qualities are available, you can detect it in others, and also you can consciously do it, because everyone really is the infinite being. And the more we experience unity consciousness, so the more we experience as a field of awareness and beingness within which everything is appearing, then it changes the nature of the experiences we have, because lots of people are seeking things like romantic love, for instance, which is they're looking for a special kind of love. But really, when you see that you're the infinite being, that you're the this infinite field of awareness within which everything is appearing, all universes, all dimensions are appearing within the infinite being you've always been, then you see that everyone and everything is within oneself. So it gives a deep and enriching experience because previously we're conditioned into the subject object mode, which is that we're separate from everything. But then when we see that we're this infinite field of awareness, which is timeless, it's stationary, we can't move towards it or away from it because it's the only thing we can ever be, then we begin to it changes the nature of the experience we have. And it also changes the nature of collective human consciousness, really, because there is what some people call the morphogenetic field, which is a unified field which we're all contributing to. So the more beings there are who are experiencing unity consciousness, that is something which is becoming available to more and more people because that sense of unity is present within the morphogenetic field. So we can experience it in that way. So the one way you could say the world works is the world makes it appear as though we have to find these special experiences or special relationships or special people, when really everything is already divine, everything is already the infinite being. So we actually find infinite love and infinite joy and infinite bliss within the most simple experiences. So um, everything which is to do with sort of gathering experiences, lots of people, they're sort of jetting all over the world. They're looking for experiences. They're looking to create a self-image. They're looking for special people or special circumstances or special jobs. But all of that really is concealing the simplicity of what is already available, which is that life is already magical in a way which is just complete already. It isn't something where we need, we can find the magic and the divinity exactly where we are.
It's
And then
magical
it
show.
then it yes. Then it becomes much deeper because we're no longer being deceived into looking outside ourselves. And that's quite a liberation, really.
E
You seem really clear already.
infatti la mia vita è semplice, non ho un obiettivo, non lo so se va bene o no, quindi vivo la vita più semplice e sono piena di gioia.
She says that her life is simple. She has no aim, no scope in her life.
Yes.
She lives like
Yeah.
like it is.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. Well, that's the best way, really, because it can develop from there, but it develops in different ways. So it may be that you because you have clarity that it's something you can communicate to other people. But it just really the most important thing for someone like you is just your presence within the dualistic world, because it's the energy frequency that you're holding which is most important. And that isn't something you don't need to cultivate it. It isn't anything that you need to try to improve on. It is already that. And so that simplicity is the most important thing. And you'll be guided, just to do whatever needs to be done. And it probably will remain quite simple. But you'll find that you'll find that just by prioritizing that sense of ease and lightness in one's life. So um, for every day, just to prioritize that sense of um, self-respect and just a feeling of ease, never feeling as though you need to hurry, avoiding situations which put you into overexertion. And you'll find that because living in that way aligns you naturally with your infinite nature even more because your infinite nature is effortless. So you then just find that living from your infinite nature is very easy, and you're in alignment with that, which is um, because effortless being is where all the power is really, and supporting any of the dualistic experiences require energy, and you find that to whatever degree you're um, investing energy in the dualistic realm, that limits to a degree the potential that there is in your infinite nature. So that's something which is, but you're because you're really intuitive, you know you're already functioning in that way. Even, you know, your life living in quite a simple way is exactly the way to be. So so you have that inner knowing. Really having a conversation for you is unnecessary, like because there is already complete clarity. You know that you are already in your true infinite nature, and you can't be anything other than that. And then you entertain the human experience on your terms. So and you tend to do that in quite a simple way. You tend not to make it too complicated.
Lo sto facendo già, scelgo io dove devo andare, con chi devo relazionarmi, quindi scelgo io, rispetto verso me stessa.
She choose for herself. She choose where to go, who meet, who to relate with.
Yes.
So
Mm.
she's very,
Yes, wonderful. That's
yeah, she's
yes.
very proud of that. Now she can choose.
Self-realization.
Fantastic. Yes, well, that's brilliant because even you know, even being born into in one country and then moving to another is part of the dualistic experience, which is designed to create complexity to some degree. But it's really good the way you've integrated into the Italian culture, and that you have well, you've been there for about 25, 26 years now, so
Yes,
um, you feel very comfortable there.
yes. Tanti
That's wonderful.
amici, ho persone intorno a me che mi vogliono bene e che voglio bene a loro.
Yeah, she has a lot of friends and many people who loves her.
Ambra,
Wonderful.
Ambra.
Well, you have some lovely friends, I must say.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's great. How did you two meet? Because you seem to have a close relationship.
E come ci siamo incontrati? She met her mom first,
Yes.
so they became friends.
Mhm.
Then we met. So
Yes.
I cannot
Oh, that's
tell
good. Yeah.
exactly when, but it happened.
Yes. Good. That's great.
Integrazione, la vita va avanti e sarà integrato man mano che non lo so come dire qualcosa.
E che gli vorresti dire?
Quindi niente, bisogna fidarsi e andare avanti.
Yeah.
Tutto qua. No?
So so she has to trust herself and go on like that.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah. Well, that's exactly the way because I'm sure what happened with the experience you had is you recognize that there is no validity in religions or in the idea that you need to look to someone else. Everything you need is within oneself. And the more you know, the reason we're having this conversation is there's an affinity, really. You feel that there's a similarity, but it isn't that you're looking for anything because you already know it.
Yes, yes. Eh,
So that's wonderful, though. That's really good.
dirgli che ha ragione quando dice che tutto in questo mondo rinforza l'identità.
Yeah, she says that you are right when you say that everything in this world um, power your identity.
Yes, it is changing because people, um, our energy can only be compromised when we're in the personal mode. So it's like a computer game that we're playing where the system we're experiencing, the dualistic realm, is designed to put us into pain, suffering, limitation, make us identify with the human experience, with the personal realm, and feel that's completely what we are. But as we gain the ability to function more from impersonal being, from our impersonal nature, then we're free of the system because our energy can't be compromised when we just rest as impersonal being. And there's an Indian teacher called Nisargadatta Maharaj, and he says remain as the I am
Yeah,
because the I am is the infinite I am. So before we before we add our name and adopt the personal mode, everyone is just resting as the infinite being, and as the infinite being, we're free of the energetic implications of the dualistic realm, and that's the simplest way. And we we have the ability to function in a kind of frequency range, and it sounds as though you do this really well because you have you know your true infinite nature, which is impersonal being, but also you function really well in the human realm, like you have lots of friends, people you love, and because you're functioning from your infinite nature, that the element of love is just naturally there. You're just loving towards everyone, and people
everyone.
sense that. People sense that, and they want to be around your energy.
I love it, everyone.
Fantastic. Well, you know, everyone is you, really.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's I feel so blessed, really, to be able to have conversations with people like you because, well, similar to you, when you have experiences, especially in childhood, there isn't really anyone you can talk to. But it's been so nice to realize how many people there are in the world now where there is that openness, where they've had a deeper insight into what they truly are.
Yes. Forse io da piccola ero così espansiva e amavo il mondo, amavo le persone.
Yeah, she started when she was young to love people and be so empathic. So probably it was her nature.
Yes, yes. So you brought that in with you, really, didn't you? And you just felt, yeah, just felt empathic towards everyone. It isn't something you've developed, is it? It's something which has always been there.
Anche se questo mi ha portato anche un po' di sofferenza.
Yeah, this brought a lot of suffering, but I think it's a part of the process.
Exactly. Well, the Matrix doesn't like people like you to be present here because you're demonstrating a different kind of energy. The Matrix wants everyone to be in fear and wants to be in separation and limitation. Um, but it can trigger people when you're just really open-hearted as you are. Some people they can't understand it. They don't really relate to it. And so it's it as a child it can take a while because for you were just naturally like that, but people couldn't make sense of it. Some people just wouldn't be able to understand it. But it's yeah, it's just so nice to see how you just how you're living really because it doesn't seem as though there's anything which needs much attention really because you don't because the knowing of your infinite nature is very clear, then you can't go back to believing that you're the human being in time and space. You can play that role, You know, when you meet your friends and things, you can play the role, but you can never actually you can never identify with that really. It's just something, just like a little game.
Non posso mai scordare chi sono, eppure il personaggio Liliana è cambiato rispetto a prima.
Yeah, she
Gioco diversamente.
yeah, she cannot forget who she is, but the character is changed, so she played in a different
Yes.
mode.
Fantastic. Wow. Do you find that things are just developing on their own really? Because you you do function from effortless being, so your life experience doesn't require a huge amount of effort, and it tends to be that it just goes by itself.
Yes, și sunt atât de contentă și curioasă în fiecare, tutti i giorni sono contenta e curiosa di come andrà, come si svilupperà, capito?
Every day she is curious and happy to see how it will go. So
Fantastic, yeah. Well, that's a really good sign. Um, Something which comes with the sort of experience you've had is the days just seem to work out. So you wake up and there may be one or two things you need to achieve in the day, but you know that just by allowing it to unfold, that it just all works out. Like things click into place. You don't need to worry, you don't need to hurry, you don't need to strain. And even if there are challenges which come in, just taking them in your stride, because lots of lots of things in the human realm, so things like death or illness and those kind of things, or change, loss of job or loss of wealth, those sort of things, they're part of the construct which are designed to put us into suffering and limitation to make it seem as though this experience is real. And they're quite intense invitations, but for you, you can see beyond that. So you can see that they are only invitations and you don't need to react to them. So you can, because you see that everyone is the infinite being, you see that um, nothing real is lost. So you can experience this more like a play where it isn't the intensity which lots of people feel isn't it isn't present for you. It's something you can just see it and experience it, but it doesn't disturb you. It doesn't it doesn't put you into emotional turbulence.
Anche se arriva con qualche contrazione, qualche pensiero, non dura, quindi si evapora, svanisce.
yeah, even though sometimes she has some thoughts, it is very fast. It disappears very fast.
Yes. Yes. Fantastic. That's great.
Perché mi trovo nel campo della saggezza, dove appaiono le forme e resto là.
Because she is in the field of wise, so she's there and she
Yes.
stay there.
Yes. Wonderful.
Sul
So,
trono.
do you have because you had that experience for about 3 months of the body of bliss, and does that re-emerge sometimes? Do you find that you can access that?
Every
It's
day,
there to some degree.
every day, peace e bliss.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes,
That's amazing.
yes. Senza motivo, quindi.
Without reason.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that shows that it's genuine bliss because bliss is never related to any experience. It isn't related to anything we're doing. So
Sento
it's
un sorriso interno, sento un sorriso interno e una gioia, espansi.
She feels
Yeah,
like an internal joy, like an internal smile. So
yes, yes, wonderful. Well, it's the way the way you're living from effortless being, um, the tendency to move back into the dualistic realm is something you do reluctantly in a way. So you don't really want to get involved in things which require a huge amount of effort or being in situations which are uncomfortable. So being alone is something which is you always feel comfortable in that way. But it seems as though your outer circumstances are reflecting your inner experience because you're surrounded by people that are very loving and where there's that sense of ease and compatibility.
Yes, yes.
So that's a really good sign.
Infatti sto bene insieme alle persone, ma sto bene anche quando sono sola.
he feel um, he feel better. He feel good both with people and alone. So
Yes, wonderful. Well, that's really the ultimate in a way because sometimes it takes a while to integrate impersonal being into the human experience because we've been conditioned into the personal mode, so we're familiar with that and we can relate on a personal level. But it's because of the depth of experience you've had, the clarity, which enables you just to remain there even in personal experiences. So you're not really venturing back into the dualistic realm. It's a very unified experience that you're having, and yeah, that's wonderful, really.
Mi diverto in questo
You're very blessed.
she enjoyed this world.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, it is when you're the way you're experiencing it, it's more like Toy Town. It isn't like a lot of people experience it as though it's horrible and serious and everything, but for you, it's just like a little Toy Town game.
Esatto.
That's fantastic, though. Yeah.
Conoscendolo mi ha dato tanta forza e mi ha aiutato molto a rimanere in questo stato.
You gave her a lot of strength, and she says that thanks to you, she is able to remain in this state.
Wonderful. Well,
Thank you
really
very
happy to hear
much,
that.
David.
Well, I'm so happy, but it's just your intuition which has guided you, and that's how that's really how the infinite self reveals itself to itself, because we find frequencies which are compatible, and but it happens effortlessly and automatically, which is wonderful, really.
Yes, ecco perché intuitivamente Ambrose ho voluto
Yeah,
ricevere.
he says exactly the same thing that your intuition brought you
Intuition, sì, intuition.
to find
Mm.
him.
Yes.
Thank you
Yeah, it
very
is. Well, it's just a little mirror, really. That's all.
much.
Thank you for your time.
Well, we can speak for much longer if you'd like to.
Se vuole dirmi un'altra cosa di cui ho bisogno, I don't know.
She asked if you want to say her something that she needs.
Well, I can't see anything missing. You just see, everything seems to be fully there because um, for lots of people, realization is something which happens in a sort of sequence, and sometimes there can be quite a lot of suffering. Whereas with you, you had the sort of advanced version, which is where you had the experience of physical death, which just put an end in a really clear way to the illusion of the physical realm. And because of that, it's really simplified everything in the way you see the world. So the integration process, which lots of people have to go through, um, because it's a sequence, isn't really necessary for you because the clarity is already there. So you can't really be drawn back into the illusion of the dualistic realm. So it's very simple. You're a very lucky lady.
Thank you very much. Non entrerò a fare un altro giro di giostra.
She don't want to go again on the carousel, so
No, definitely. Well, the nice thing is that when you realize that you're the infinite field of awareness, the infinite being, and that's all you can ever be, and the human realm or the personal realm is optional, then you can't be deceived into things like reincarnation because we have to be assuming the personal mode for there to be reincarnation and to be on the carousel. But the infinite being, which is an infinite impersonal field, and it's the totality of existence, um, it can't move from there really. And once that's recognized, it just simplifies everything, and it really brings the ability to function from your sovereign nature. So you can have there's much more freedom in the range of experiences available. So rather than feeling that we have to experience limitation, we can experience much more expansion, and that's something which is available to you, really. So that's
che
wonderful.
bello sapere che sei l'infinito.
it's really amazing to know that you are the infinite.
Well, it's realization is in some ways it's very it just seems so profound, but in other ways it just seems so simple because we realize it's only been a case of mistaken identity that we believed ourselves to be the human being because everything in the world is trying to get us to believe that. But it's so simple just to see that we've remained in our infinite nature. So there is no change really. We just sometimes we're a little bit alarmed to see that we could have possibly been deceived into believing ourselves just to be a little human being. It's a funny little ride, isn't it, really?
Sì, però è intenso
She says that it's intense.
qualche volta.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, it certainly can be, yeah. But you realize from your infinite nature that the intensity becomes optional because so many things in life really they're based on consent. It's whether we consent to them because if we, for instance, if we go to school and people, teachers are telling us that we are this little human being in time and space, if we believe that, then we're sort of consenting to it. And the same with religious teachings, if people who we trust are telling us that we're sinful and there's something wrong with us and that we have to repent our sins and all of these things, if we believe that, we're consenting to that mode of experience. But it's all part of the dualistic play, really, where we re-establish our sovereignty and we realize that those experiences they're just they're options, but they're things that we can decline. We don't need to believe them, and we certainly don't need to act on them because most of the limitations that people experience are through believing and consenting to those limited forms of experience. So it's really nice to know we don't need to believe any of that.
Hai sentito?
Do you have do you have people who come and ask you about life or ask you about spirituality? Have you found that people just come to you?
Yes. Ehm, diciamo che adesso ho iniziato a sentire persone che mi ascoltano in questo senso, perché io parlo sempre, ho parlato anche con te, io parlo con tutti, però adesso hanno iniziato a presentarsi delle persone che sono interessate.
Yeah, she says that she always talk about spirituality and these things, and just now people starts to listen her. So she noticed that now people are going to her and listen what she has to say.
Very good. Well, yeah, that's a really good sign. And just it's just having that sense because you're very natural, you can just allow that knowledge to flow through you because it'll come through your infinite nature and you'll just it's trusting everything about the process in the way that emerges because you'll notice depending on who the person is you'll know intuitively whether it's someone you can have a conversation with on a deeper level or whether you need to just keep it a bit lighter because it's really the degree to which people are invested in the personal realm. So if people are very heavily invested in the human experience, you can't really go too deep with them. But if there are ones, the infinite being will bring people to you where they just need a little bit of clarification. It's just like a little bit of fine tuning, and then you'll be able to help them to realize their true nature.
Infatti, adesso incontrando le persone faccio differenza, chi è, nell'identità o chi vuole veramente approfondire questo argomento.
Yeah, now when she meet people, she feel who is ready to learn more and to go into these things, and who just want to listen, but without any particular.
Fantastic.
E
Fantastic. Well, that's perfect. That just shows how your infinite nature and intuition are fully functioning, and so it's just trusting that because the everything to do with that process happens effortlessly. So people will come to you, and it's the things which just happen effortlessly. And as you mentioned, there are certain synchronicities where people will step into your space, and then there'll be an opportunity to speak with them. But the most important thing is not to allow any of the conditioning from the past to do with your childhood or your history or anything, or the patterns which were limiting experience on the human level. Don't allow any of those to limit your potential because you're the infinite being, and the infinite being is capable of everything. So it's just living from that level and allowing it to come through without placing any filters of limitation into your experience.
infatti all'inizio quando ho avuto questa chiarezza di chi sono, ho cercato di parlare con molte persone intorno a me, però poi dopo ho rinunciato e adesso non cerco più niente di convincere nessuno. Tutto qua.
Yeah, she says that at the beginning, when she has this clarity, she tried to talk with many people, but now she understands that she has not to go by people, but
Yes.
yeah, everything is coming is has to come naturally. So
Yes. Yes. Well, it's yeah, it's great you've had that experience. I had exactly the same thing where you want to share the knowledge with everyone, but not everyone
Yes.
is open. So but you learn that the ones who come to you effortlessly and exactly the right people come to you, but you also know how much to say that you don't you don't try to introduce anything which is too difficult. Just keeping it nice and simple. But you know that already. It and because we tend to have that, we're really enthusiastic and we're talking to people, and they look at us as though there's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's so lovely to meet you. It's really nice, both of you.
Thank you very much. Per me è una magia.
For her, it's like a magical. So
Uh,
she's very happy to meet you, and she's very grateful.
Well, it's magical for me too. So remember that. That's really, yeah, it's just amazing the way the infinite being organizes things.
per me è come il mio padre, che sono tornata a casa.
Uh, she's feel like she's coming back home to her father. So
Well, that's really sweet. Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Spero di imparare inglese.
she hoped to learn English, so next she can
You
speak.
don't need to.
Pre- pretend, pretend che non lo so.
Aspetta.
I pretend. Di-
Oh, yeah.